You asked about the phone. Simply put, it's a disaster. Whenever technology comes into an industry, it consolidates it. Mating has been consolidated in the worst way. 50 men on Tinder, 50 women. 46 of the women show all of their attention to just 4 men, leaving 46 men pursuing just 4 women. If mating was a country, it would be more unequal than Venezuela. We have huge mating inequality. And here's the problem. When people don't get together and there's no pheromones and there's no vibe, women, and we don't like to say this on the left, primarily try and make very quick assumptions about this individual's ability to garner resources in the future. So what you have is this concentration of interest, and you're ending up with Porsche polygamy, where 10% of the men get 90% of the attention, which does not lead to good behavior or form long-term relationships. E-commerce was disastrous for retail. Social media was disastrous for everybody. Online dating is disastrous for mating and for men. It's terrible.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Online dating is disastrous for mating and for men. I'm going to go ahead and start with Luis, man, since you sent this. What were your thoughts about it when you came across this?
I agree. When I first, I actually follow him. He's a really good researcher and a really good talker. He is very focused on pretty much men and men's kind of space and trying to bring a lot of awareness to a lot of young men who are going through this sort of evolution change. I agree. Look, the technology is great. You know what I'm saying? It has really streamlined a lot of things for us, but I think that it has over corrected a lot of the things that it doesn't need to be corrected. You know what I'm saying? People have been finding each other since the dawn of time. Like, we don't need an app or a application to kind of now filter people. We run into people every single day on our commute to work, at lunch, on our commute back home, at the gym, at the grocery store, at that local spot that you like to go grab a cafe, grab a coffee or a snack, your favorite restaurant, out and about in the most socialist places, in the most least expected of areas. You run into people in a very consistent basis, and you create a sort of a pattern. There's this conversation that is brought up. There's a rather uncanny situation that is presented, right? It's like, I'm familiar with him. I've seen her. Like, I got to go and talk to her. There's that ability to kind of get outside your comfort zone and actually go up to somebody and spark a conversation. I feel that it has removed the confidence from a lot of men and a lot of people at that, because it's so easy to sit there and type and write the perfect message and the perfect thing, right? As opposed to actually walking up to somebody and sparking a conversation and having that organic connection, right? And being able to kind of get out your comfort zone. And as far as the comment that he made about 90% of women giving only 10% of men all the attention, yeah, it is true. It is very, very true. You don't even need a dating app to see that. I think Instagram is the greatest dating app out there, because it gives you insight to how people lead their lives. You know what I'm saying? Their habits, their interests. You look at who they follow, the things that they end up liking, right? And you can gauge a sense of the people that they crowd around. Now, a part of it is that Instagram is a show. Some people are faking it on there. There is a level of discernment that you have to take, but it gives you a peek and an insight of how people are really, really leading their lives. And unfortunately, more people are more inside, typing on the computer or typing on their phone, than being outside and actually interacting with people and finding who they're best compatible with. So it has really taken a turn. And I think now with the whole AI experience, like, I don't even get me started with that. There's a whole AI app now that creates this sort of fantasy person for you, and that is also something that's in the works. So don't be surprised when you start hearing about that more often. But yeah, we're definitely in untraditional times.
All right, interesting. Go ahead, Dave West. I'm gonna get your thoughts on it. I know you expert on these dating apps. You've been out here exploring. Go ahead.
Expert? Who told you that? Anywho, so we kind of like briefly touched up on this topic a couple weeks ago, and like you said, it's literally very lazy to be on the dating app because it does take away actually trying outside. Like, I feel like guys are very much so confident because you can just go right back shop. If this one don't work out, just go back shopping on the dating app. Like people are too accessible. And it's creating just a cycle and nobody's connecting. And I think it's just a place to get some free goodies because I think a lot of dudes just look for booty calls because it's so easy. Like you could just take a girl for a couple of drinks. Some girls, I can't even just put on the dudes, women too. I mean, it's like a mating ground, like y'all say, and it's pointless. Apps have made things too easy for people.
So you think that women are not taking it seriously as far as dating? You think that they're just on there, like they understand what it is and that you're not going to really find a good quality?
I'm not gonna make it a woman thing or a man thing. I feel like there's women that just look. That's just like how y'all feel like. What was who was we talking about the other day? Neo Soul. What was the artist?
Oh, Jill Scott.
Yeah, we got some Jill Scots out there that just want to get it in, and we got some men just want to get. I mean, and some people are serious, so I'm not gonna make it like a gender role.
But you know what's really happening is the algorithm of how these apps are set up. That's really what's happening. It's like just think about it. If everybody was to find each other tomorrow on these apps, there would be no more subscription. Nobody will be paying for all these features and bells and whistle and the monthly subscription for all of these things. These things are designed to keep you on the app and designed to keep you still purchasing packages and stuff like that. Like, I would say this: a woman will get an avalanche of interest from men, and in that pile, there will be a few of them who are very serious candidates, and she'll open up one of them and read it. But by the next day, when she's expecting a response from that man, she will have already gotten another avalanche of more message from more men. And it goes on and on. And by the time she looks up, she can't even find the message from the guy who he thought that was serious because she's buried constantly. And a lot of women are overwhelmed from the amount of requests and the amount of interest from men, right? And they unfortunately don't know how to filter, or they haven't even developed a whole system on how to filter some of the men who are showing interest. And sort of they give up and get off those dating apps. And that is really what's happening because there's huge amount of requests for such an amount of women. So
and that is true. But also after COVID, I feel like a lot of those dating apps like skyrocketed, not only for social anxiety, but a lot of people are working at home now. Some people don't have time. But if you don't have time to like go find somebody, then you don't have time to date. Like you don't have time to give nobody your full attention if you can't go outside and go to a bar or go to have an activity to where you can find somebody else. Maybe you just need to stay at home and figure it out until you can get back outside and have some genuine interaction.
Yeah, I agree. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Cookie.
I don't know what's going on with my internet. I know it's raining outside, but I'm upset. But anyway, back to the subject. Online dating is disastrous for mating and for men. Is that right? Yes. I don't like to speak on what's disastrous for men. Only a man could tell me if it's disastrous for them. I think it depends on what the man is seeking.
Well, it was based off what the guy was saying.
Yeah, I didn't get to hear none of that because I was too busy downstairs moving my
Okay.
freaking modem and calling Xfinity, but it is
Okay.
what it is.
Okay. Jay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna send it to you, and
Okay.
then come back to you. Go ahead, Jay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I mean, I think I think online dating works for a certain set of people. You know, if you have like young professionals or, young black professionals or just young professionals in general who have time restraints, meaning like they're not at happy hours, they're not, at most places where you can meet people casually and interact. I think it kind of scales down and puts everything in front of them. I think for people like that are willing to invest that money, because you have dating apps and then you have sites that you pay money and they scale it down to people that fall in your category, and it's like, okay, here is your pot of people that are serious as well, because they're investing this amount of money into this. Here you go. I think that's a good way, but a lot of these dating apps are, they're just pretty much hookup spots, and there's nothing like face to face, because you have people that are excellent online daters. Literally, profile pic is popping. They got the chat GPT words listed perfectly. Oh, he's in the woods and he's a man's man, and he work out and he, everything is perfect, and you draw their interest, and then you have a date and you get in front of them and none of that is accurate. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the women, and then there's code words. Like, you got to start reading into stuff. Whenever I was on there, because I was on there probably like 2008, 2009. That's when I was really like
really?
trying it out for the first time, and I had to get hip to it and cross out certain words. Like when I saw free spirit, like I X that out. I automatically know that meant hoe. You know what I mean? That was just a great word. Yeah, code words. Free spirit. Whenever somebody admits that they're free spirit, like, come on now. They're not serious. So people are on there looking, they're shopping for what can put them in a better position. When you meet somebody like the traditional way, whether you got a friend to know a friend, whether you're in the supermarket, whether you're in the drugstore, those are good, because there's certain things that you're going to see in person, you're going to hear in person, you're going to feel in person that you won't get online. Things are presented really excellent online. And then when you sit in front of these people, it's like, damn, like you can't even hold a conversation. Like all the things you type to me, all your interests, you can't convey that to me verbally while we're in front of each other over a damn expensive dinner, you know. So I think if you're serious about it, you'll invest in it and do it the right way. But if you get on one of these cheap apps, I don't know what's out now. I know like back at that time, it was like Black People Meet. And you can even tell from the pictures. Like if I see you in your backyard with a house dress on and a bonnet, like you're not serious about dating. Like your presentation is wrong. You know what I mean? Like when I don't know how many of y'all watch Kendra G, but if you ever watch Kendra G and she pulls up a person that's laying down in bed with a bonnet on, oh, hey Kendra, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Not your presentation is wrong. Wear something presentable, line yourself up with the camera, talk. You know what I mean? You got people sitting down eating hot Cheetos and Takis talking about, what's up, Kendra? I'm looking for a nigga with 200,000. Bring your goofy ass down, yo. You're not serious. You know what I'm saying? Or you
God
got
damn.
these niggas in jail calling in there talking about, yeah, I'm looking for my queen. Nigga, get out of the feds first. You know what I mean? They is being there with their little iPhones in jail. Yo, fam, you in jail. Your background is foggy as hell. Like you been in there pulling on yourself for the past. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not serious. So all I'm saying is, if you're serious, there are apps out there where you have to invest some money. You will meet some quality people. They'll scale it down for you and find out all the stuff that you may not have the time or resources to find out. Like, oh, nope, this nigga got charges. He's fighting 7 charges right now. Or nope, he got married yesterday. Or nope, he got a baby on the way. You know what I mean? Like,
Nope.
they'll find out everything for you, scale it down for people who are serious. You know, if you out here just looking for a quick bang bang, keep it moving, yeah, continue.
Just don't
Look,
see any
see,
reason for
Jay,
me to pretend like I'm not these things. Yeah, I like to read a book or two. Yeah, I like to work in the garden. Yeah, I like to go fishing. Yeah, I like to spend some money on some Louis Vuitton every now and then. But I like to fuck too. And I also like to make love. And I prefer that if I could get it. And then some fucking too.